All right, let's get right into it. If you guys are looking to go from zero to making over $20,000 per month with contract flipping and virtual real estate, let me help you out today and let me change your life. And guys, this is no joke. This is a serious way to get into real estate and make a lot of money. So if you are serious about this and you really want to change your life and you want to make a lot of money through real estate at a young age without having a lot of money to start, this is the best and pretty much the only route to take. And guys, just for example, I've been doing this for under 2 years now, and right now it's a random Thursday night. I'm in the Ritz-Carlton. I just drove my Lamborghini here that I just did $20,000 in mods to. And tomorrow I'm going to F1 Miami with a few of my friends, and I pretty much do whatever I want, whenever I want now, all because of real estate. And if you guys are watching these videos, you can see I don't have some big personal brand. I don't have anything that's making me a lot of money online. All the way that I make my money right now is through real estate, and I'm just now getting into doing stuff online. And I want to help you guys out, and I want to change your life. So I want to show you guys how you can make money through real estate without having big upfront investments to put into it. So let's start this right off the bat, how you can go from zero to over $20,000 per month in under 90 days with contract flips. A lot of you guys are probably wondering, what is contract flips? How can I get into real estate? How can I do this? Because most people can't get into real estate. Everyone's like, oh, you have to have a lot of money to get into real estate. Real estate's something for older people. You can't get into real estate when you're young. You have to have upfront capital to get into it. No, that is not true, especially with the method of contract flips. And guys, what contract flips is you are going out there and you are looking for motivated home sellers, people that have a reason to sell their property, want to sell it fast, want to get it off their hands, and want to get a cash offer. And no, you never have to actually buy the property. You don't have to have a real estate license. You never have to actually go and see the property in person. You don't even have to be in the same state as the property. You could be in California and the property could be across the country in Florida, and you can still do the deal and you can still make anywhere from 10 to $200,000 off that property is the biggest assignment I've seen. It can be anywhere in that range. So now you're probably asking, okay, contract flip sounds kind of cool. I want to get into real estate without having a huge upfront capital investment. How do I do it? So let's get into step one of how to start. Okay, so with step one, what you guys are going to do is you need to master the acquisitions process of the business of contract flips. And I'm giving you guys a lot of game here, so you need to take notes, write everything down what I'm saying if you want to make your first $20,000 a month in under 90 days with contract flips. And to master the acquisitions process, there's many different ways to do this. So what I'm going to recommend you guys to start out is you're going to be calling FSBOs, you're going to be cold calling, and you're going to be reading over things like a script to understand what you need to sound like on the phone and how you need to talk to these sellers to get a deal from point A to point Z and make them feel comfortable working with you, as well as selling them on why they should be working with you and not going to an agent or doing those other ways of selling their property. As with contract flips, what you're trying to do is you're trying to find someone motivated to sell, and you're trying to be the solution for their issue. If you can be the solution for their issue, you can make a lot of money with this business. So to get started with cold calling, you're going to want to use something like Deal Machine. I'll have it linked down below in the description. This is a software where you can pull data and get people's phone numbers that own properties, where you then are going to go through these lists and call these people that own these properties and ask them if they are interested in selling their property. Once you are calling these people and get them on the phone, you're going to want to ask them a lot of key questions. You're going to want to dig into what type of condition this property is in, how much money they want for it, and then most importantly, you need to dig into the motivation and the reason that they want to sell this property, because that right there is what makes deals happen, and that right there is what's going to put money in your pocket. There, once you guys are now calling these motivated sellers, reaching out to them, doing cold outreach, which takes a lot of volume. You guys need to do hundreds of dials a day. When I first started, I was doing 1,000 dials a day. You got to put a lot of effort in. You got to be reaching out to a lot of different homeowners and finding someone that is motivated to sell, because once you find that one person, boom, your life will change. From there, this is when we're going to get into step two. So let's say you found a motivated home seller, somebody that wants to sell. After talking to them, you now should have all this information of like, what's the asking price for the property? $250,000. You should know the age of the roof. You should know what the HVAC is like. You should know what the electricity is like. You should know everything of what the inside of this house is like. If it needs cosmetic repair, if it needs interior repair, everything that needs, you should know, and you should have these notes written down, because that's how we're going to make an accurate offer for this property. And guys, when you hear me say make an offer for this property, like I said, we are never actually buying these properties. So don't worry and don't get scared. Now, with all this information, we're moving into step two, which is underwriting. You guys are gonna go on Zillow, you're gonna put that address into Zillow, and you're going to look through properties around your subject property. You're going to wanna look for what the ARV is of these properties. ARV is the after repair value. So you're going to wanna look at properties around your subject property, the property that you obviously just talked to the motivated seller about, and you're gonna wanna look at what these properties around are selling for that are already repaired or at ARV status, which ARV status is properties that have been renovated, properties that are nice looking, and properties that are move-in ready. So let's say the ARV is $200,000. You're then gonna take the ARV times 0.7, which is 70% obviously. Then you're gonna take out your repair estimates for the property, so let's say $20,000, and then you're gonna take out your assignment fee. So let's say on this property, you wanna make $15,000. Subtract the $15,000, and that is going to be your maximum allowable offer, and that's what you can offer for that property. Obviously, in basic sales and basic everything, you're not gonna wanna offer your maximum allowable offer right off the bat. Let's say your maximum allowable offer is $150,000. Let's start out at 130, 135, 140, kind of slowly make our way up to our maximum allowable offer. Because let's say you want to make $15,000, you could end up making more because you're not going to open up at your maximum allowable offer. You're going to open up like 10, 20 grand lower, and who knows, you could have a $30,000 spread on your hands. Now let's move into step 3. Once you know how much you can offer for this property, you're going to make the offer. Let's say it gets accepted. You're going to get this property under contract. Pretty much what this contract is saying is it's a contract that is saying the seller is going to sell to you, and you have the rights to assign this contract. So once you have the property under contract, it is yours, it is your deal, but you are now going to look on the market for buyers and someone that you can sell this property to. A very good method for this is looking on Facebook Marketplace and looking at investor group chats. There's guys everywhere that want to buy property. If you have a good property on your hands and you have a good deal, there is going to be a buyer for it no matter what. This is why step 2 in underwriting is so important. You actually make sure that you do your due diligence and take good notes on the property and actually offer the right amount for the property. You're going to have no problem finding a buyer because there is buyers everywhere. Hundreds of thousands of people want to buy real estate anywhere. They don't even care what it looks like. They want to buy it. Now, let's say you found a buyer on Facebook Marketplace, or you just know a buyer somehow. You are going to assign the rights of this contract to that buyer. So let's say the property is under contract for $200,000. You're going to assign it to the buyer that you have found for $220,000. Obviously, there's a $20,000 spread in between, and that is what you take home. And you are never actually spending any money on the property. The buyer is buying it, the seller is selling it. You're simply getting your middle amount in the middle. That is called the assignment. Also, there's a way to get ahead of 95% of wholesalers. Let's say you have a little bit of money to invest up front, anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. You have multiple different marketing strategies you can use to find these motivated sellers automatically and way easier than obviously doing 1,000 dials a day and reaching out to them. Some of these strategies are going to consist of VAs, which is where you're hiring somebody to cold call for you every single day, 10 hours a day. So anytime you're looking, you have 5 different leads every single day of people that are interested in selling their property, and all you have to do is reach out to them, use your sales skills, and try and get them locked up and under contract for an amount that you can make money. And that's VAs. After VAs, we have things like Facebook ads and Google ads. This is where people are online on things like Facebook and Google, and they're seeing your ad that says "We buy homes cash." Okay, they're gonna click on that and be like, okay, I'm interested in selling my property. I just had a family member pass away. I need to get rid of this property. I don't want it anymore. I'm gonna click on "We buy homes cash" and I'm gonna tell them what I want, and I'm motivated to sell, and they're gonna reach out to me. And this is where you're gonna reach out to them, you're gonna offer them money for their property, you're gonna dig into their motivation, you're gonna see how much you can offer, and then you're gonna sell the deal. And that's Facebook and Google ads. I'm trying to give you guys a very, very beginner example of how this stuff works. So right now you have VAs, you have Facebook and Google ads, and those are the 2 methods that I know the most about and I recommend the most. There's some other methods, but I would start out with these ones. With VAs, you're gonna wanna spend like $2,000 to $3,000 a month. With Facebook and Google ads, you're gonna wanna spend from like $3,000 to $7,000 to $8,000 a month. And that's why usually people get into marketing after they close their first deal and after they have the upfront capital to invest now because they just made $20,000 off a deal. If you do have some capital though and you're coming into wholesaling, this is the best way to get ahead of all your competition. Right now, guys that I know that are in wholesaling are spending $2,600 on Facebook ads for every single wholesale deal they get, which is like, okay, you're spending $2,600 and you're getting a wholesale deal out of it, which is on average like $15,000 to $20,000. A great return on your money, obviously. Guys, contract flipping really is one of the best ways to make money in 2025. The real estate market is going down. Everybody sees it. Everybody knows it. So if you can get into real estate now with contract flipping without having a bunch of money to start and close deals and actually put your all into it, you're then building capital. You're then getting into real estate. You're then learning skills about real estate and building connections in real estate. So when these real estate markets go down, you have the opportunity to invest in these real estate markets and make generational wealth and change your life. Guys, this is not an opportunity you want to miss. If you have any questions, please comment them down below. I'll be happy to reply to anything. And also, if you guys are very serious about this and you actually want to get into contract flipping and you want to work one-to-one with me, where me and my team help you close your first wholesale deal in under 90 days, there's a link down below, top link in the description. You can apply to work with us. Only apply if you're serious. We only want to work with people that are very serious about this because we have a very limited amount of slots and we actually get results and we actually help you close that first deal. So go apply for that if you want, and hopefully I see you guys flipping some contracts soon.